Hello, everyone. My name is Louis Scicli, and I want to welcome you to the show. Our show will cover local news, local events, and politics. Please look for news shows every week on our website and Facebook page. We want to thank everyone for your ongoing support, and we hope you enjoy the show. Morning, everyone. We're back today doing our next podcast, and in the studio with us today, Phil Stevens is back with us. I should say Pastor Phil Stevens. Sorry about that. You only answer either way, right?
Worse.
Okay. So we're back today, and we're going to start talking about some of the things we've been doing what he's been doing on the campaign trail. Letting everyone know how to fill out the ballot. I know we talked about this a little bit last time, but he brought the copy back in so he can actually show you again just to make sure. So without further ado, Pastor Phil Stevens, good morning.
Now, before we get into that, though, we need to make sure that your entire audience knows that it's your birthday today, right?
Oh, no.
And make sure you put in the comments, happy birthday, you look great for 39, all that good stuff.
Oh, my gosh. All right, we'll get you for that later.
Yeah, there you go. Good.
But no, today is my birthday, but you don't have to put all the comment things out there.
Yeah, you
please.
should. You should.
No,
you really should.
Don't do that.
All of the little fancy frilly things.
Oh, no. All right. I'll get you back.
My birthday's not till next year. So
I'll find out when it is. All right. So talk to us a little bit about what you've been doing on the campaign trail and what you think so far and all that good stuff.
Yeah. And just to make sure that they don't tune me out, and at that point, I want to make sure I get the most important part out here. Okay. This is the most important part of this.
You want me to stretch it out there further?
Okay. That long arm.
This is important.
Absolutely.
Let me not cover up any of it. So I want everyone to see.
Yes. So I am technically a write-in candidate, which means you need to fill in the block that says write-in.
That's right.
And then you can write Phil Stevens, PhilStevens.
Yes.
And that is a great vote right there that will help get us some change and some positive change in leadership.
And we need it really bad.
Absolutely.
So please do that. Take the time, fill it out like you just mentioned, write his name in, and let's make some changes because every day I turn on the news in the morning, I'm sure you do as well. It's getting crazy what's going on in this world right now. And if we don't step up and fix it, it's just going to keep getting worse and worse and worse.
For parents that are concerned about their kids in school to be considered domestic terrorist by the Department of Justice is just absolutely wow.
That just shows you how far they'll go. People will go to stop the truth.
How did we get there? Just not too long ago, this was not, you could have a great discussion, a conversation with your school board member, and you're still friends at the end of the day, but all of a sudden, it felt like a light switch.
Yeah,
where all of a sudden now we're domestic terrorists.
Can't do nothing either. You just go into these meetings, you can't do nothing. Anything you say, they get offended, and it's not. I watch a lot of the videos from these school board meetings, and I attend as many as I can attend, and I look at their postures and just the way they act when the people are up there speaking. They don't even want to. It's like most of them don't want to be there. They're like this, and they're like like waiting for you to finish and get it. Move next. It's crazy. Yeah. So we're going to fix that, though. Yeah. We're going to get in these seats, and we're going to, from this point on until November 2nd, we're going to be pumping out a lot of video podcasts. Good. We need to get the word out to let everyone know to vote for us so we can make a real change for our communities and for our kids in these schools, because honestly, I don't think the people that are in there now, or most of them, aren't going to do it for us. I don't know what it is, but they're not. At least we're saying we're going to do something. We're not going to be, they're not going to put tape on our mouth and say, just sit there and shake your head yes.
Right.
We're not those kind of people. That's why we got this group together that we got going on. A good group of people that really care about people, us. We're going to get in these seats and we're going to make a difference. So
you don't even have to be that bright. You don't have to be in a lot of leadership to know that when issues and problems come our way, if you sweep it under the rug, it doesn't get rid of the problem. No. You have not dealt with the problem just because you swept it under the rug.
No.
It's going to come back. It's going to get worse. It's going to bring friends.
Oh, most definitely. Lots of them, yeah.
And I would much rather absolutely try to tackle a problem before it gets into our schools than for it to actually get into our schools and then have to do the fight to get it out of the schools. And then, by then, how many kids has it affected and hurt because we didn't stand on the the gate to make sure that it did not get in.
True.
I was just listening to a podcast. It was at the Lynchburg City Schools. Thank you, Ann Parker, for sending that to me. And concerned parents that were talking about books that were in the Lynchburg City Schools. I'm not talking L.A. I'm not talking about New York. I'm talking about Lynchburg City Schools, Campbell County.
Our schools.
Exactly, right here in our neighborhood backyard. And schools are books that are just filled with immorality, trash, and all of that. And ninth graders that don't have the ability to kind of adults, absolutely, you do what you got to do. But ninth graders and 10th graders do not, 11th or 12th either. No.
I see a lot of 18-year-olds that don't know better, but
no business reading these kind of books. And they're in our schools. They can check them out with no problem, read it, and just it just blows my mind away.
Absolutely. And on the news, they're even talking about it. I mean, they're saying that now that, you shouldn't be, as parents, you shouldn't be allowed to tell the schools what to teach your children. And I'm thinking to myself, what is wrong with this man saying this? I mean, you know who it was. But I'm thinking to myself, what do you mean that the parents should not be allowed to tell the teachers what to teach their children? I mean, teachers tell the kids, what to teach them. Unbelievable. Absolutely you should. They're your kids.
Right.
Why can't they get once a year, get together, go over the whole, the agenda for the year, and just check off what they're going to be taught and stick to that? They don't want to do that. They want to throw in their own stuff.
You see what they're doing? They think that the government knows more about your child than you know about your child. The government knows how to teach your child more than you do. And that's just...
That tells you there's something wrong.
That's just fundamentally just wrong. Crazy in my eyes. But
it's going to change. We just got to change it.
Right.
But again, when these meetings come up, these school board meetings, show up to these meetings and voice your opinion. Right. You might not get a response, unfortunately, but at least you can go there and voice your opinion. Let them know, what your beliefs are, and it's not right what's going on.
And I did find out the Campbell County school board meeting is October 7, and it is going to be held at Rustburg High School again. So that's a good thing, actually, because the Rustburg High School is a larger venue, so more people are able to attend, which means that you won't be shoved off into a secondary room. I know that was discouraging a lot of people from going because they weren't even in the same room, but now the larger venue has allowed...
October 7th today? We're doing it today.
Oh, no, Monday. I'm sorry.
Monday. What is Monday's date? Because today's October 7th.
I think it's 11.
Okay. So this coming Monday.
Maybe it's 12. Whatever Monday is, yes.
Okay.
I'm so sorry. Yeah.
No worries, because I'm thinking, wait, the 7th, that's my birthday, so it's not today.
Sorry.
Oh, no worries. I'm glad.
Yeah. I didn't...
That's right. You didn't do it that time.
That time I was good.
I'm thinking, wait a minute.
I apologize. It's this coming
Monday.
Yes.
So everyone, please show up to these meetings.
Yes.
And now I talked to Ann Parker the last podcast we did this week. I forgot what day it was. Maybe Wednesday, Tuesday. My days run together.
I'm sorry.
But so we had a little podcast and we were talking, and I had mentioned to her the same thing I mentioned to you, that I'm thinking these school board members aren't allowed to say anything. And because I said, I think they're just on a gag order, because there's no reason why they can't at least talk to you and say, we'll get back with you. We'll send you an email, which they're not getting back with anybody from what I've been told. Emails at all, nothing, not addressed at all. And Ann said, and I don't want to quote her what she had said, but I'll let her talk about it in the next podcast, but she said something to the effect of, we think that their attorneys may have told them don't interact. Which why? What's the reason for that? Do the parents not need answers or don't deserve answers, or why would they do that? So as I understand, even the prepared speech that is given after the parents give their legitimate questions, concerns. The chairman of the school board essentially reads the same letter that he has done for the past 3 or 4 meetings, and evidently that one is probably prepared by an attorney, so that way they know anything they say in that is going to be okay. That's right.
Very, very
vague.
Exactly. Don't pin them to anything.
And you can tell, when they read it, it's just like, and there's no emotion at all. They just get through the motions.
In what business, in what situation where we're just going to read a prepared statement for legitimate concerns has ever turned out in a positive way?
No, it hasn't.
Never.
Nope. But but again, all we can do is keep going to the meetings.
Yeah.
Speak at the meetings and just voice your opinion so everyone else knows what's going on, because they're not going to tell you anything. But at least the other people that stand up and talk and speak in these meetings will get the word out on what's really going on.
Right.
Because,
I plan on speaking at the next meeting as well.
Okay,
so,
good. Next Monday.
Next Monday. Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Well, I'll probably be at that meeting. So far, so good. Nothing for me scheduled for next Monday. So
Good for you.
I'll
All right.
try to be there. So
Well, cheer me on.
I will definitely do it. I'll try to record it if I can.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
So other than that, I mean, you've been out and you've met with some more people, and
I have absolutely been amazed at all of the different people, and what I think is even bigger than all of that is the message of things must change. You know what I mean? I mean, from my perspective, when I first started on this, like I said at the very beginning, I thought I was just going to be alone. I thought I really felt like God was leading me to do this. I know that sounds strange to some people, but that's okay.
not at all. No, that's got to be.
I just want to let everybody know, if you vote for me, you are voting for somebody who is unapologetically and unashamedly a follower of Jesus.
Absolutely.
Just want to let you know.
Best way to be.
Yeah, and this sounds strange to some as well, but I literally believe that the Bible has the answers for the way that we ought to live and the way we should live. And so I wish I could say I was perfect on that, but definitely it's the priority of my life, and that's the way that I'd like to proceed, which is why I'm against things like racism. That's why I'm against immorality in books and allowing that to be in our hands of our kids, and just so many more things. I allow the Bible to define my values, and that's.
But you're not alone on that. Trust me, there's millions of other people, millions and millions and millions of other people that believe the same, me included. And again, I was never a politician before I started this whole thing. You were never a politician, and what got us to do it? I don't. Yeah, there you go.
Well, I get asked, you're a preacher. Shouldn't you not be involved in those kind of things of elections and public servants and things like that? And I said, I think that's the reason how we got to where we are.
Yeah.
Is because people just decided, oh, I'm a follower of Jesus, I'm a churchgoer, and therefore I should not be involved in the public arena. And I think that is why we got into the shape that we're in.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Yeah,
because we didn't, and there was a whole group of people who decided, oh yeah, well, if they won't, we will. And
absolutely.
That's where
and a lot of those people aren't really.
Yeah, right.
I mean, we know where we are in life and what we believe in, but a lot of those other people may think totally different, which I think a lot of them do.
And the thing is they say, well, are you going to let your religion or your politic or your political right view? No, I just think it's a right and wrong kind of issue.
Yes.
Somebody said we should leave. I was talking about critical race theory and racism and things like that, and they said we should leave that political arena out. And I said I agreed. Politics should not be in school and classes, but racism is not political, and Democrats and Republicans both should be able to agree on that.
Yes.
And they should, with a loud voice, say, we don't want anything to do with that in our schools, in our communities, in our families, or anything else. Yeah. Let's get rid of it. And why not, for example, why not our student board vote against that? Why not have a unanimous vote to say, not going to have it, not going to let it, sending a message to Richmond, we don't want it.
Yeah. And again, it's just takes stepping up, like us stepping up and just not sitting down and just taking whatever they give us.
Yeah.
And again, I always say this over and over again. I'm not a politician, but I'm getting into this because I know there needs to be some change, and the same reason you got into it. And if we don't do it, who will?
Right.
Because, I'm hoping that now more and more people will want to get involved in these positions so we can change the way things are going for the better.
Yeah.
Because we're in it to do the right thing, period. I mean, there's no other, agenda.
There really is no other agenda.
None.
This has taken up a whole lot of my life. And it's not like I didn't have anything to do before.
Get ready, because every day I go home, the first thing Cindy says is, do you got any meetings tonight? You got to go anywhere tomorrow? What do you got going on? It's like, I think going out and working on your campaign is actually probably harder than once you get in and you start working, because
it gets easier.
I would hope. If it doesn't, I'm in trouble, because I got to tell you, politicking is not easy. It's a lot of work. I mean, the amount of people that you go and talk to and you meet and answer all the questions and just back and forth, it really wears you out.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad that November 2nd is right around the corner, because I actually need a break. Yeah. I mean, I took a vacation and I literally went to the beach and did nothing. I didn't even bring a laptop that week. I said, I'm not even going to bring my laptop. I brought my phone, but when I got back, I felt revived for about 4 days.
Yeah.
And then now it's back again, and I'm just worn out again.
Yeah.
So
I get that. I totally understand that.
Let's just hope it gets easier, which it probably won't get easier, but in a different way. At least now, once we get in these positions, we can actually work on the things that need to be worked on. Mm-hmm. And to me, that's would be more enjoyable, to fix things and get things working for our schools and our citizens and communities. Because right now it's talking, meeting, and it does wear you out,
right,
big time. So
be nice to be able to focus on because it's like, am I doing, is what I'm doing now, does it make a difference? Does it,
it will make a difference once we get in there, though, I can assure you that.
That's what I've had some people encourage me to say, stick this out, keep it going, cross the finish line strong as you possibly can. And
yes,
I have found out that, and maybe where the pressure is I feel like I am carrying the burden of a whole lot of people who believe exactly as I do, and I just happen to be a spokesperson for them. Yeah. And it's like, I can't give up, because I can't give up on all of them who are wanting somebody to step up to do that. And so
most definitely,
it's
it won't be much longer. We'll get it going. And like
November 3rd will be here before I know it.
Yeah.
That's when it's all done.
That's when it's done. Actually, how stressed. I mean, I think probably the last week of this month is when we're really going to feel the pressure and the stress, because we worked so hard. I've been at this for a year, campaigning for a year.
Oh, I can't even imagine that.
I'm so stressed right now. And Cindy's like, what happens if you don't get in? And I was like, don't even say that. Please don't say that. So we're praying that we're going to get in. We're praying that everyone's going to vote for us so we can get in and make a difference and make a change. That's the key thing. And every week we say to everybody, get out and vote. Mm-hmm. Please get out and vote. I did go yesterday and looked on how many votes were coming in by mail-ins, because you can do that. There's a site that they give us. I don't know if it's the same as yours, but for running for delegate, you can log into your account and they'll tell you, they won't give you like how many votes each person got.
Okay.
They just put it like how many for your district.
Okay.
And I got to tell you, there's a lot of mail-in votes. I called Ann last night and I said, I'm a little concerned. She goes, why? I said, because there's a ton of mail-in votes coming in that weren't coming in at any other election like this. And she goes, are you sure? I said, I'm reading it, and there's a lot of mail-in votes coming in. Now, there are people going out and voting already, and it's already starting to really ramp up. We know November 2nd is when it's going to really hit, but I don't like the mail-in vote thing.
Does that include early voting or just mail-in votes?
I guess that is for early voting, everything. That's everything.
So those who mailed it in plus those who went to the polling.
You can do it either way. You can actually break it down by how many went in and how many were mailed in.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
And the amount of people that went in was about the same as the last election. What I did notice, though, in this election is there's certain areas where a lot more people went in to vote this time than last election, especially for the delegate position. Because I looked up for my position I'm running for delegate. But I noticed an area that really didn't have a whole lot of high turnout last time that this time does. And I was looking at it going, I don't like that. Not saying anything's going on. I'm just saying that, it's different this time. And that mail-in vote thing, I'm not a big fan of it, because there's too much room for error with the mail-in vote,
Okay.
And I think you should have to go in and show an ID to vote. Some people don't like that. I get it. But to make it safe and secure and fair for everybody, I kind of like that idea better than just filling it out and mailing in. Because I've heard some stories of people, getting a mail-in ballot at a house they lived in for 5 years from the previous owner, 5 years previous, and they're getting, what's to stop somebody from filling that thing out and mailing it back in? I mean, I know it's a crime, but some people don't care about that, obviously, with the whole breaking the law thing, and that's a different podcast. But yeah,
I mean, I even paused to say it, but last year a lady said that her husband, who had passed away 3 or 4 months before, still got a ballot.
See,
and thankfully she's an honest lady, and so there was no issue about it there. But if that happens once, it happens a whole bunch, and people.
And you want to hope and pray that everyone's an honest person,
right?
But let's get real.
Unfortunately,
some are not. We pray that they will actually be honest, but they won't. Someone won't be. And yeah, what happens when they mail it in?
Right.
It gets counted for something that it shouldn't be, and it's not right. And again, both ways. Maybe it was for me. The vote went in for. I don't want votes that are not legal votes. Mm-hmm. So I don't want anybody filling out a ballot that's in someone else's name, even if they put my name as who they're voting for. I don't want that, because that's not an honest vote.
Right.
So I'm not going to harp on that much, but it's a little scary, and I'll send you some information to let you look for the 5th district is the way I pulled it up.
Okay.
And it was a little concerning. So so other than that, you've been doing a lot of meetings and
it's truly been amazing. Yesterday, I'm telling you, it was literally a meeting with one lady. She got some pins, these beautiful pins. It says "Write in Phil Stevens, Rustburg District School Board." I was just like, "This is beautiful."
No kidding, that's awesome.
And then I dropped off some signs with somebody, and then I was gone somewhere else to get a print job that has beautiful picture.
I heard about this one.
Yeah, it's got a picture of this guy on the side, looks a lot like me, and it says Phil Stevens, Rustburg, and so there's a couple of Rustburg football games that are coming up soon. Homecoming's coming up, and so I'm going to get some friends, and we're going to go out to the game and pass those out to let people know.
That's so good.
That we've got some. An alternative candidate, an extra. There's another option for people. It's not just one. It's not the same old, same old. If you want change, you can vote for this guy. This says awesome. Phil Stevens on there. And
I may be at that game as well.
Good.
The Rustburg one, because that's an area that there's a few things I got planned for before the election to go out to that way.
Good people over there.
There is. There's great people. My district, which is the 59th district, we got great people around us. It's a great area. Mm-hmm. It really is. We need to tidy up on a few things and change a few things, but that will come in time. Mm-hmm. But I love the people. I get a lot of support in Campbell County in general, but Alta Vista it's a small area, but I got to tell you, that's a tight community there. Yeah. Everything that goes on in that community, you get people that just, they show up to the events, they cheer people on for different things, it's a good, tight community. I love it. And Rustburg's like that as well. It seems like all the ones in our district are like that, which is a good thing.
Oh, farmers and, country folk are the best.
Oh, yeah.
The
best. And
there's a great church, by the way, over in Gladys, Windfall Baptist Church.
I heard about that church.
You should check that church out.
Yeah, I have checked it out.
The pastor there's a little suspect, but the people are fantastic.
I love your church, though. It's a great church. Actually, when I went out to that one, the Sunday we went there when you had the awards for the sheriff's department.
Yeah.
The award thing. Awesome, by the way. That's neat that you do that. You do that every year?
Yeah, we've done that. That was our 4th year of doing that.
Kidding.
And I've only been there 5. So
okay, that's all. Did you start it or someone else?
I started that.
Awesome.
Yeah. 4 years ago, it's worse now, but officers were getting a horrible name. They were getting very little support, and now the defund police movement has even pushed it further. And I thought our community needed to know that Windfall Baptist stands with our officers. We stand with them. We want to support them every way we can. So 4 years ago, I actually knew he's the former sheriff, Steve Hutcherson, and I called him up and I said, we want to do this for you guys. And since then, we've just kept on doing it every year, and we try to make it a little bit bigger every year because we appreciate them so much. And
that's awesome.
Yeah, we'll do it again next year.
And the thing is, when I came to that Sunday service, I enjoyed it. It's like when I walked in, it's like you could tell everybody in your church is real comfortable. They're friendly. You see them laughing and talking and waving. Yeah. I've been to a lot of churches that weren't that way. You walk in, you're like looking around like, where do I sit? And no one's looking at you. They won't stare. They won't even look your way. I mean, I met some people in there that are actually from your church that are supporters of mine, which are really good people. And I really appreciate the fact that you actually asked us to introduce ourselves because Ann was with me that day.
Yeah.
And Ann said, I'm going to this church. I said, I'd like to go. I'd like to check it out.
Yeah.
And I support the police 100%.
Yeah.
I mean, ex-law enforcement. So I'm going to, I believe in the police. And that defund police things, I don't even want to go there.
Right.
But when you asked us to stand up to introduce ourselves, that meant a lot to me because I've been to some places where I was invited to come to these things, and you go to them, and it's not like I'm looking for attention or the spotlight, but they invite you to go, and you go, and they don't even acknowledge that you're there. And one event I went to, they didn't even acknowledge me at all. I went to the event that they invited me to come to, and they just walk right by you, and it's like, don't say, hey, Louis, how are you, or anything. Yeah. And I'm like, what? Why did you invite me if, I don't know.
If you didn't have lipstick on your face on the way out, right. You've not been to Windfall.
That's right. Yeah. I see that too. Those people, man.
Yeah, they just love people.
They do.
It's what makes our church a little bit different maybe than everybody else.
It is a great church. And I'm not just saying that because we're in the podcast.
Well, thank you.
It really is a great church. And I'm going to come up visit again. Believe me, I will. Just after this election thing's over and I got time again, hopefully.
Hey.
I
jokingly, and I see it jokingly threaten that if we ever are not a church like that, we'll burn the place down and start all over because that is the way it has to be.
Yeah, that
has
is.
to be that way.
I mean, you got that church to where that's a great. The vibe in itself was great. Just the atmosphere. It's not tense like a lot of churches are real tense. Yeah. It's awesome.
Yeah.
It is awesome.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
No worries. I appreciate it. All right. So we're at 27 minutes. Do you got something else you want to hit on first? And I'll let them know what we got next.
No. Well, I don't know if I brought this up before.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if we did or not.
I can't remember if I said anything about this.
Yeah. Let's put this up here just to make sure. But, this is.
Yes, that is where you can vote for change. You're tired of talking about it. You're tired of hearing the news. This is where you get to actively involve yourself in the process. All you have to do is fill in the write-in block there. Right, Phil Stevens, and that is a vote for change and standing up for our kids and giving parents an advocate on the school board.
And we need it, so everybody, please fill it out the way it's written on there, just exactly like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so we throw this at the end of our last couple podcasts we did. Lynchburg Treasure Hunt Group does a treasure hunt here locally. I actually head it up, and what we do is we had a certificate in the Lynchburg area somewhere. On our Facebook page, our group, the Lynchburg Treasure Hunt Group, we post podcast videos with answers to the questions you write on the podcast, like questions like hints you want. And they're yes or no questions you ask us, and we'll say yes or no on
This is pretty cool, by the way.
It is cool. And this is like the sixth one we've done. We always give out great prizes. The first one I did, I gave away $1,000 cash. This one, or the ones after that, I've gave away $1,200 to $1,500 diamond rings. This is actually for a $1,600 diamond ring.
Wow.
And it's fun because there's a lot of people during the pandemic would go out and hunt for this thing because there was nothing else to do. Mm-hmm. And it kept people, entertained and gave them something to do. And a lot of people wrote back and said, Louis, thank you so much for this because I'm getting out with my family. I'm doing stuff with them as a family that we don't get to do very often, and getting exercise because they're walking around looking at places that they think it might be. So I've already hid the certificate, okay? And some of these questions that are on the Facebook page, I'm going to have you read out 3 of them.
Okay.
Because tomorrow, Sean's going to be in the studio tomorrow, and we're going to do our regular podcast for the Lynchburg Treasure Hunt Group. We do 5 or 6 on that one. So I've gave out a bunch of clues already, the yes or no answers to the questions they asked us. Okay. So I'm going to give this to you.
All right.
And then there's some here.
Okay.
And then there's there. And I'm going to have you read them, and then I'll answer it yes or no.
All right.
A lot of them have already been answered.
Is this the ring?
That is the ring.
Look at that.
That is a nice ring. And I actually held it up, and I'm going to do it again tomorrow, but it's a nice ring. It's a 14-karat diamond ring with a lot of diamonds in it.
For you men who are in trouble, you need to find this ring.
Absolutely.
You will be out of trouble instantly.
That's right.
Okay, so get that. Wow. Okay, so here is a question from Mr. Andy Schwartz. All right, you ready?
Yep, I'm ready.
It says here, is it at Ivy Creek Park?
No.
No, it is not.
Not at Ivy Creek Park.
X that one off.
That saves a lot of people a lot of time because we usually put these things in the parks, Not saying it's not in a park now, but
just not at Ivy Creek
just
Park.
not at Ivy Creek Park.
Very good. Scratch that one off your
Scratch
list.
it, yeah.
Second question here from Miss Debbie Campbell Fenwick. Is it within a 5-mile radius of River Ridge Mall?
Yes.
Whoa, there you go.
I like how you're doing that. Whoa.
Yeah, I like that. My radar's already on now. I'm like, my wife would really like that ring. Okay, here we go.
So if y'all see Pastor Phil Stevens out there looking around, not only do you got to give him your vote, but just, follow him around too.
Help me with the find this ring,
right,
okay? Yeah. My wife would really appreciate it. Okay, here's the last question. Jason Irvine.
I know Jason Irvine. Jason Irvine used to be my officer on the volunteer fire department for Dale City. Oh. Great guy. He's a big follower on this group too.
Okay.
So hi, Jason. We let everyone know you asked a good question, and I just want to call you out a little bit.
All right. Let's see here. So he asked, is it in a park?
No.
It is not in a park.
No, and that's a good one he asked, because that just eliminated a bunch of them.
You put an X on a lot of stuff.
Thanks a lot, Jason.
Yeah, that's good. So what we do know is it is 5 miles from
River Ridge Mall.
Right around. I guess you draw a circle around that.
Yeah.
5 miles.
Within that area. And it's not in a park, so Jason, that was a very good question, because that eliminated because a lot of people probably thought it wasn't a park.
Look at this ring.
Yeah, it's a nice ring. A very nice ring.
Yeah,
so
I got something to do now.
All right, so we're going to finish up here, and then again, we're going to try to do these at least once a week, all the way up to election. And you know what? When we get in these positions, I'm going to keep the podcast going just to let everybody know what's really going on.
Good way to get it out.
To get it out there, and have these at least once a week. And, when we're in session in Richmond and I get back, I'm going to put these podcasts out and let everyone know what's really going on. I'm not going to fluff it up and tell everybody, it's great, it's great. If it's bad, it's bad. I'm going to say, here's what's going on, and here's what they're trying to do, and here's what we need to fix. Right. And I think that's important. Transparency is so important, because we're not getting that from anybody right now.
Absolutely.
Our delegate that's in the seat right now, not happening. I can just say that. I'm not trying to bash anybody. It needs to be transparent. We need stuff to get out to the public and the citizens and the community to let them know what's really happening, what's going on, and what we plan to do to fix it. Yeah. Everybody keeps saying, here's what's going on. Well, how do you fix it? Don't just tell us what's going on and what's bad. What are you going to do to fix it? That's what we don't get answers. We don't get answers from people. We're going to start doing it, though.
Well, you don't know. You can't fix it if you don't know if it's even a problem.
Absolutely. And there's a lot of problems that are out there that I've found and seen running for this position and campaigning. We have a lot to work on. And a lot of people don't even realize how much, but there's a lot to work on. And that's what I plan on doing when I get in. And I'm sure it is exactly the same thing for you. There's a lot to work on, and we will. So anything else?
No, I'm good. Make sure you also support Miss Ann Parker.
Yes.
And Dean Monroe down in the Brookneal.
Yes.
They are like-minded, and they want to see some changes as well, and they will fight for you in those districts as well.
Absolutely. Until next time, everyone, stay safe, and we'll see you next week. Thank you.
Absolutely.